Hey there friends, welcome to the Peacock Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Liz, and in this week's video, we are in week 2 of the Every Bit Counts Challenge. Our garden has been really abundant this year, so we've been finding really creative ways, or just basic ways to preserve it. And we've done a lot of canning this week. We did some freezing and also storing away of our garlic and onions. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, let's get into the video. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The hub surprised me with this beautiful nesting box, so the chickens are super psyched about this. There are 4 nesting boxes in there and they all use it. They're so cute. All the little ones use one and all the bigger ones use the same one, and they are super cute and they really love it. So it makes it more convenient for me to get the eggs in the morning, and they seem to enjoy it too. We usually get out in the garden once, at least twice a day, because it's super close to the back door there. This is my herbal garden, so I have all my spices in it. I'm harvesting some chamomile, some German chamomile, and I have a little helper, of course, my Jackie. And then I've harvested some basil as well. There's also some borage in there, and I also have dill and a few other things sprinkled around the garden, but it's been doing really good, so I'm super pumped about that. Our cucumbers as well as the zucchini have been doing so amazing. So I've been trying to do things like freeze them, and I've been making mock pineapple, and I've also been incorporating them in little sweetbreads. I made some chocolate zucchini bread and just regular plain zucchini bread, and I'll have the recipe for you guys on a screenshot a little bit later. And so I've been trying to cook with it, and we're gonna do some savory things with it next week, but I've been trying to get creative. But this is my harvest. I have some German chamomile and some pickling cucumbers and basil, and we're gonna go do some fun things with that. This is what they look like. They're looking really beautiful, and I've just been kind of coming out every day and getting a little bit and just gathering it and then storing it away. And here's another zucchini. I'm not going to complain because this is the best we've ever grown them this year. I've actually also been giving some away, so that just shows you how well my zucchini have been this year. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Zucchini are really abundant. Actually, I've gotten only a few banana peppers. Hopefully I get some peppers. If not, I'll just try harder next time. And there's always a farmer's market. I think it was last week I saw Jessica over at the Three Rivers Homestead. She made some blackberry basil jam, and it looks so amazing. So I wanted to incorporate some of my basil from my garden into a jam like she did, just to try it out because I've never had it before, and it turned out so amazing. I've been missing out. I've been missing out on amazing jam, so it'll be the first time I'll be making. It is going to be a blueberry black cap basil jam. I had around 2.5 pounds of blueberries, and then I added 2 pounds of black caps. Those are just black raspberries. And I added 7 cups of sugar and 1/4 cup of lime juice. And then I added about 2 tablespoons of basil towards the end. So I cooked everything all up. It cooked down for about an hour and a half to the consistency that I wanted, and I did the freezer test. And now I'm adding the basil. I was gonna give it a stir and turn everything off, and we'll get this in the jars. I'll be steam canning this, and I have different size jars, so I'm just gonna process everything for 15 to 20 minutes. I had a variety of different sizes, so I figure I'll just process everything all together for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then I'm gonna fill everything up and wipe all the rims, because this is definitely sticky business right here. And then I'll put the lids on and the rings on finger tight and get it in the canner. All right, so they're done processing. I'm just gonna take these out carefully, and I'm gonna let them sit for 24 hours. And then I'll take the rings off, give them a good wash. Don't forget to label, and I'll put them on my shelf. Just a quick spoiler alert, we did try it and it was amazing. It was the best jam I've ever made. And I'll be making this every year now. And I also learned that people have made a strawberry basil jam and just different jams they had added basil in, and I'm definitely gonna try them. We're trying to do different things with the basil coming in because it's been really abundant and we're definitely blessed. This kale I think is ready to be harvested, so I was gonna pluck them and make a beautiful green bouquet, bring them up into the kitchen and get them canned up. I have other greens in my refrigerator that I need to can up, so we are going to do that next. I gave everything a good wash, and I'm gonna chop everything up into bite-sized pieces, and then I'm gonna get my jars filled, and we're gonna process them in my Presto canner for 90 minutes at around 13 to 15 psi for my area. I did fill 8 jars, but only 7 can fit in my canner, so I cooked one up for my hubs for dinner. We love our greens in this house. We have it with some chicken bouillon and red chili flakes and a little bit of butter, and it is the bee's knees. We love greens in soups and stews, and we put it in our quiches and our breakfast casserole. It is really good for you. So I'm just making sure that I debubbled all of my jars, and then I'm wiping the rims. I'm gonna put the lids on and the rings on finger tight, and we're gonna get them in the canner. This week I made my biscuits and gravy. So these are sourdough biscuits, and the recipe's on my blog, thepeacockhomestead.com, if you are curious and want to try them. They are so amazing and flaky, and I put them in the freezer. So we just eat what we have for dinner, and then I'll put them in the freezer, and my hubs will have it for breakfast with some sausages and eggs in the morning. It's super convenient. So here I'm just cutting them out, and then I'm going to bake them for about 15 to 20 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Someday I will make whole wheat biscuits, but I'm trying to convert the hubs to eat more whole wheat. I guess it's a texture thing. I'll try to figure something out because I want us to eat more healthy. We're not allergic to it, so I think that having more whole grains to our diet would definitely be beneficial. But just getting used to it, it takes a bit, I guess. Working with whole wheat is definitely different than working with an all-purpose flour, because all-purpose is fluffier and lighter, and it comes out much different than working with freshly ground grains. You get a more denser product, but there's tricks around that. And one that I know of so far is letting your grains soak for at least a half an hour in the liquid that you have in it, and that will make a more fluffier product in the end. So here I have my sausage gravy. I cooked up and I browned some sausage, about a pound, and then I added milk, flour, and some spices. And then here I have some of my garden sage. This smells so amazing, and I'm very lucky to have it, so I definitely feel blessed that we can use it in different dishes. It's actually really good as a tea, and you can make a tincture with it as well. And there's so many other different uses, but I'm using it in this amazing savory meal. Then I'm gonna get it all dished up, so this is what dinner looked like on this night. I just dollop the sage on top, and I'd have to say it was really delicious, and the hubs enjoyed it too. And now it's time to take out all of my grains. So I'm going to take out my cans carefully. I'm going to let these sit for 24 hours, and then we'll get them all cleaned up, labeled, and put on the shelf. Jackie! Oh, good boy! I was weeding one of the front garden beds, the side that had the beets, and I accidentally pulled a few of the beets out, but that's okay. I will incorporate them in a future meal, and I'll probably end up harvesting the beets this weekend. So as I'm doing this voiceover, it's Saturday, and I'll probably harvest the beets tomorrow on Sunday. It will probably be on next week's video. So I got all of my pickles that I harvested this week, and I added them to my dill jar, and I'm just adding these banana peppers to some extra juice that I had in the pickle jar here, and we're gonna just add to it as we go, as they pop out of the garden, and then we'll have some pickled peppers for my pizzas and whatnot, so that's super exciting. Love yous! We've definitely been really blessed on the amount of German chamomile that has been just pumping out of the garden. I'm so excited. We'll have some of this special flower, and it's actually a medicinal herb as well. So we'll be making teas with it. I'll be making certain tinctures and some healing salves with it. So this is my leftover garlic. I needed to do something with it because it was starting to shrivel up, and I was not going to have that, so I decided to just take some of the cloves and store them in the freezer for cooking and whatnot. So I have them into 3 little vacuum pack packages, and I'll take them out as needed, and then that way they won't get moldy or anything. And then I'll take my seed garlic, and I was going to put that in the refrigerator, and I have a really good idea how I want to store my little bitty onions as well, so I wanted to show you that too. I have some of my onions that I harvested here. I had 9 pounds of pearl onions and red barons, so I got them all brushed off and cleaned, and then I was just going to store them in some wood chips in my refrigerator. So I made kind of like lasagna layers. I put wood chips, onions, wood chips, onions, wood chips, and then I'm going to keep that in the refrigerator. It should keep it nice and cool and dry. And then I have all of my seed garlic. What I did is I used an onion bag that I already had, and I put my seed garlic in it and I tied it in a knot, and I'm going to keep that in the refrigerator as well, and hopefully it doesn't start to sprout in time for this fall to plant it. So I usually plant it before the heavy frost comes, and that's usually the end of October and the beginning of November. For this week's homestead tea, I decided that I was going to make an oregano, basil, chamomile, and lemon balm tea. So I just took a little bit of the herbs, about a tablespoon of each one, and I added 2 tea bags of just a generic black tea. It was an Earl Grey from Walmart, and I brewed that for a good 15 to 20 minutes, and it was delicious. It was really refreshing, and it was definitely relaxing. And I had a little bit of the leftovers for the next day on ice, and that was amazing as well. On this night, I boiled up some bow tie noodles, and I was going to make a garlic butter sauce and then add these amazing spices. So here I have some oregano, basil, and I also have a bit of sage and thyme. And it's time for a tea break. I'm just going to pour myself some of that amazing tea, and then we'll get going on making this dinner. So I got some chicken in the oven. I'm baking some just cast iron chicken. I have taco spice on it. And look at those oregano flowers. They're so beautiful. I've never actually let it go to flour, so I think it made a really beautiful dish. So I'm just sauteing up some of my garlic in a stick of butter, and then I have about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I'm going to mix that in with the bow ties and all of my spices, and then I was just going to put a bed of chicken on top of that. That was going to be our dinner tonight. It actually looks pretty fancy, but it was super delicious, and we really enjoyed it, and I really love working with all of my spices and herbs. It definitely makes me happy. You're so silly. We decided that we're gonna have meatloaf and mashed potatoes for Friday night's dinner. So I have some garlic and onions from the garden, and then of course I'm gonna add some breadcrumbs. This is my little convenient basket that I have on my counter, so I don't have to go running around or digging in the refrigerator. And oh boy, I'm still getting a lot of zucchini. I'm gonna be shredding that up, and then I'm gonna be water glassing some of my extra eggs. So I have some breadcrumbs here, and then I'm gonna add some basil, some fresh basil from my garden to the meatloaf. So I get that all nestled into my little pan. And then I have something special that I wanted to show you that I just learned. One of the YouTubers that I watch actually gave me the idea. I'm using my tomato jam from last year, and I'm gonna place that right on top of my meatloaf. Yes, I said it. I'm putting tomato jam on top of my meatloaf, and it actually turned out really amazing. I can't wait for you guys to try this. So if you have tomato jam, this is a really great idea. So I thought my husband was gonna hate it, and he actually said it was different and he really liked it. So thank goodness for that, because that would have been more for me still, but I'm so happy he loved it. And I have my garden potatoes that I'm just gonna boil up, and then I got this all baked. I cooked it for about 45 to 50 minutes at around 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I got all my helpers here, of course. And this is what dinner looked like that night. It was so delicious, and the tomato jam on top was definitely the bee's knees. And I've been getting a lot of eggs, so I've been trying to use them in my cooking. And then I have this big 5-gallon bucket, which is food grade, and I've been popping all of my clean eggs in there that I did not wash, because you need the natural flora for it to store correctly and efficiently in the lime water mixture. So you just make the mixture up, and then you gently place the eggs in there, and it should store your eggs for about a good 6 months to a year. And yes, I am shredding zucchini, and I am pumping up my arms because there are so many zucchini. But we got 8 packages. We vacuum packed them up, and we are going to store them in the freezer. I give them to my dogs. I put them in their meals, and then I make zucchini bread with it, which I'm doing right now. And here is the recipe that I use. And I just got the batter all mixed up, and I'm going to pop it in my little glass bread pans, and I'm baking this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 60 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out clean. I usually use a knife because I don't have any toothpicks at this house ever. It came out really good. I was going to store one in the freezer, and we'll keep the other one out for the week. And we're going to try a slice right now. Next time I will have to sneak some chocolate chips in there. Don't tell the hubs. My last project is, of course, pickles. So I ordered this Mrs. Wages spice off of Amazon because they all were out at Walmart. So I ordered this, and I just got it in the mail, and I'm going to actually add some sugar to this because I was really digging the sweet and spicy pickles, and I want to make my own. I didn't really measure the sugar. I just poured in about 2 cups. And I got the spice dissolved in some vinegar and water. I'll just keep adding my little cucumbers to the jar, and then I have a little brine for something else. And that is the name of the game. Every little bit counts. And that's it, friends. That's all I have for you this week. I hope you're having a blessed week, and I'll see you on the next video.